Welcome to the Illuminati broadcast. My name is David Moore. I'm your host, and yeah, let's go. All right, so let's put this up a little bit. I'm gonna pretend that I'm talking to myself. Literally, I already am, but I'm gonna pretend that I'm talking to myself. All right, so it's Thursday, September 18th, 2025. All right, so today is obviously a Thursday. You're working with the princes, and here we go. So we have, what would this be again? Southwest. And we have it with Visago. So he's a prince. He's number 3. In Pokemon, he would be Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. Obviously, he's blue, which is for Jupiter. And Jupiter is a water element. Then you, because it's in the west. So this is the west direction. So yeah, let's see, it would look something like this in real life. So that would be north. I'm facing east. Back behind me is west. This way is south. So yeah, anyways, how does this look like Blastoise, Squirtle, and Wartortle? I don't know, maybe those are the cannons, maybe that's the shell, maybe that's a Squirtle tail, I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, Visago is supposed to help you find treasure and like divination and help you, like, I think, with some other stuff, but whatever. So that's cool. I was doing some rituals and some spells, and yeah, I was playing with some magic energies, doing some spiritual warfare. So yeah, what I've been working on is the Seal of Saturn. So you get Saturn in the middle like that. And then you have your directions, your elements, and the west is water. So you have the moon and you have Jupiter. Basically, that would be the same thing. Because it's in the west, it's almost like the same planet. So like the sun and Mars are in the south, and they would be the same energy almost. Because they're both fire. So that's why Leo has its ruling planet to be the sun, but also it's in the south with the fire. So we got the west, we got water, Jupiter's mainly Pisces, and then you have the moon with Cancer and Scorpio. So what I like to do is, in my spiritual warfare, when I'm battling against an Illuminati member or something, I like to go after the high-ranking Illuminatis, because it's like, alright, they're the headpieces, they get all the glory, they get all the magic, they get to do whatever they want, they're just badasses in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. So I go after the big ones, but it would have to be somebody that's into politics and monarchy, and obviously we have that in the real world. So you just gotta find the person that, for me, okay, I don't need to look for that person, because what I like to do in the Illuminati is, like, when you battle somebody in the spiritual realm, you should go after somebody you love, because if you go after somebody you don't like, it's not going to be as entertaining with magic. It'll be kind of boring. Like, I don't know. You need to go after the person that has... Alright, this is all hypothetical. It's just part of the story for Castle Demon Lord. I'm calling it the Battle for Mount Olympus. So we have 4 gods. Aphrodite, which is me. Kaboom. Yeah, obviously, because I'm the most beautiful thing on the planet. I don't care if I'm ugly, but I love myself. And then at the south we have Aries. To the west we have Artemis. I don't really want to say Jupiter, because the people aren't in Jupiter. They're more lunar signs, so there would be Artemis for me. And then to the north is Hermes. So I'm keeping it like 4 champions instead of just like so many, because like there's so many members in the Illuminati. So if you just cut it down to just like 4 people and you just put them in the ring, that's perfect. So we're gonna do like a King of the Hill kind of thing and a monkey in the middle kind of thing. So it's like all these games wrapped in one, and I think that works with like the energies that I go for. So I really like to work with Papa Legba, and he's an Orisha that is somebody that enjoys games and like childish antics, and he's a bit of a trickster, but he's also really serious and powerful. So like this gives you an idea, like it's kind of like this Colosseum game. When you look at this pattern, let's go through this real quick. The Key of Solomon. And I designed my own magical circle, but I kept it really close to the facts and made it as close to a compass as possible without, deviating from it. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so this is how the compass works. First, you draw Saturn in the center, because this is going to be basically your body, and it's going to be like the beginning. So you only have to think one thing. So, in the east is Venus, and that's when the sun rises. Then you start working your way down to Aries, to Mars. So Venus is in the east, Mars is in the south, Jupiter's to the west, and Mercury is to the north. Air, fire, water, earth. So you have this really simple diagram. Why do we put air to the east? Because the sun rises, and that is representative of air. Why do you put Mars down to the south? Because that's the hottest time of the day, so that's that fire element. Why do you put Jupiter to the west? Because Jupiter, that's when the sun is going down, it's cooling off, you're getting that water energy. Everything's like cool or softer. Usually you'll see the sun going down. Over here we can see the sun going down in the west, and it hits the ocean. And then to the north you have Mercury. And why would it be Mercury? Because Mercury is usually seen as a messenger of the gods, but also he's able to traverse through the underworld. He's associated with Earth because at the north is Earth, because it's not moving so much and it's fixed, and it is something that's not hot or cold, and it's not moving around like air does. So you just have this fixed energy right there. So yeah, you have Earth to the north, air to the east, fire to the south, water to the west. These are good basic instructions, and it's a good compass. It's a good magical circle. It's classical. It's not too diverse. It doesn't have too much going on, but you can spread out from there. So then you have, we'll go with the suits for it real quick. So you have spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds. So right here you have swords, which is air, fire is wands, water is cups, and to the north is pentacles. So we're seeing this from one thing, this one Saturn, you get these 6 planets, and then from those 6 planets you get all these 12 astrological signs, and then from there you get the 72 names of God, and those are the 72 demons from the Ars Goetia. And then you get to the outer ring, which is going to be your classical astrology. So basically everything that's happening right now. So modern astrology. So you have, your Aries, Taurus, Gemini. And a lot of times in the Ars Goetia, it'll explain that the spirit looks somewhat similar between a bull and a ram, or it has certain elements, and then it kind of gives you an idea it just gives you an idea how they came up with the spirits and what they look like, and you get your ties in, and then you start unraveling the puzzle, and then it makes more sense, and you're okay, it makes a lot of sense. So usually I see these as the moon signs. So basically not a moon sign, but for the moon. So you have, this is the solar energies, and then out here is the moon energy. So the month is representative of the moon. So for the whole month of May you have Taurus, and for the whole month of June you have Gemini, for the whole month of July you have Cancer. So it's just to simplify it, so you're not always trying to perfect it and make it so extreme, and it's just really simple. So you have, you keep the way, I think when I connect the modern astrology with this, it makes sense, because it's all right, this is the ancient way of doing things, and then this is the more modern, more classical, more refined, but it doesn't make it better or worse. It just gives it an extra element. It gives it that extra ring. It's something kind of society's way of saying this is who you are, this is what you are, because this is societal. This is society right here. This is our interpretation of it. This is how the sun interprets us, and this is how the universe does it, whatever. So you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what else do we have? So you get these mixture of elements out here, but usually when I want to work really strong with elements down here, I guess I could do some stuff out here, but I haven't got that far where I'm using this as much. But it's just nice to know when you're doing some of your magic. So let's see, where are we right now? We're down here. This is where we're at. This would be September. So what, September, October, November. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a good idea that maybe that's why this month everything's so physical and violent, because it's so close to Mars energy. Even though it's obviously ruled by Mercury, we still got this Mars energy going on. And then up here you can see Virgo's right here, and that's like complete Earth. So like Earth is a very physical element. It's a very physical usually people born in those years are really physical. Like, sure, people born with fire could be fiery and combustible, but Earth is like, they'll deal some like big heavy packs of punches and stuff. They're very physical. Air signs are quick, but they could be like kind of conniving and you know, backstabbers. And then water are people that are like really emotional, maybe chaotic, and they go and have like crazy outbursts. Yeah, so this month there's like a lot of Illuminati sacrifices, a lot of Illuminati rituals, and these are effects of what people want. So like people are making wishes and they're like, I want this, I want that, and the world needs to make things happen for all those wishes and dreams to come true. And a lot of the time it's going to take a lot of spiritual sacrifice. So like people, you know, they are bye-bye, they move on to the afterlife. So I'm also working on this technique. So kind of when we go back to the spiritual warfare stuff, let's see, I have another one of these that is a little bit more easier for me to like show, because I'll have this Mercury towards the north right here, but we'll just keep it like this for right now. So I'm right here, okay, and Jupiter is pulling Cancer this way. Cancer has to battle. I get to attack him. Hermes, I have these two guys under an illusion to attack each other, basically, to like keep fighting. So when you're working in the spiritual warfare, you're going to use a little bit of like Egyptian magic. What I like to do is you have your body, and I might be wrong about this, but the way I interpret it and how I'm using it, the way I decided to use this religious practices, you have the Ba and the Ka. So your Ba is your spirit and your Ka is your spirit. So one of it is the one you see and the one of it is the one you feel. And the Ba is more of something that you see, like that's who you are, that's who your higher self is. Your Ka is going to be something a little bit more of your shadow aspect, so the thing you hide away or keep safe from people so that they don't hurt it. So like you're gay, you use this one to hide it. Use this to like, this is what you're going to show people, so you're like overbearingly straight or masculine, but deep down inside you have this like, you know, feminine, or it could be just, you know, gay energy, whatever. But it gives you an idea like what you're dealing with. So if we're doing a spiritual warfare and I have my target, I'm going after Artemis. That's the code name for the whatever water element archon that I decide to put there. I pick somebody that fits all the criteria. So that person is a Cancer, that person is in politics and monarchy. So he's somebody that's involved in things that are that have to do with like being around a lot of people. And usually like I would want to pick somebody that is very influential in those spheres, because then when I vibrate on that human's energy, like when I ping, like, you know, send out my energy and it hits their energy and it vibrates, it's gonna send ripple effects throughout that whole entire sphere of people that are all associated with that. So your Ba and your Ka, they're connected, okay? They're not separate souls. It's one soul, but there's two parts to it, okay? And then, but the whole soul is connected to the collective conscious. So everybody's connected spiritually. Everybody, everyone on the planet, everyone beyond that, in the afterlife, etc. So that's why you have these psychic abilities where you can see or envision things or have dreams with people in them. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on your level of magic. Me, when I go into the spiritual realm, I can see everybody, everything, what they're doing. I see their ba, their ka, I see their bodies, everything. But like a normal person, they might not even dream, they might not remember, they might not see anything. Me, I see everything. I know everything in that spiritual realm. Like when I'm dreaming, I'm not dreaming. I'm awake. Like I'm alive, I'm making decisions, I'm breathing, I'm tasting, I'm feeling, like, and it's every single night. It's never a night that goes by that I don't know what's going on. And that's heavy stuff. And if a normal person went through that, they would crack, they would break, they would shatter, they would not be able to survive that. They cannot. And then if you get attacked there, you know how they say if you die in your dream, you die in real life? It's kind of like that. Like if you get hurt in there and you come back up, it's going to be very difficult to wake up from that kind of trauma. And then eventually you might just go crazy, and bad things happen after that, after you go crazy. So you have to be prepared. Like last night, somebody was trying to like antagonize me, and I was like, okay. But I'm like, all right, you know what? This is a moment for me to just learn how to channel this energy, and instead of like throwing it on that person, I'm going to throw it on the Archon. So I was going after Hermes, like really hardcore. I was like, all right, you're this earth energy. You're always causing this conflict. But it's because you're trying to protect yourself. You don't want to get destroyed. And this Hermes is going to be a Taurus. He has to be an actor. He has to be somebody that's influential. You have to remember these things. There's like a criteria that has to be met. So me, I'm a Gemini. Let's see. I love to dance, act, sing, model. I'm into cosmetology. I have a license. I fit the criteria for that Archon. So I'm like, all right, I fit that Aphrodite Archon. People love me. I don't know. I'm beautiful. I'm gorgeous. I'm great. Yeah, I'm fantastic. But, maybe you don't think so, but that's okay. But deep down inside, I know you're fucking worshiping me. Anyways, so yeah. Yeah, and usually when I work with people, they're like, oh, I see Oshun with you. And I'm like, okay, that love energy. So, yeah. Last night I was going against Hermes, and I was like, dang, you're... But he was very visual. Like, you could see the target, because it's like, usually he's hiding, running away. He doesn't want to fight. But this time, like, I could see him. Even though I was struggling, I was like, I just got to put all that energy into destroying him. So that way... If I'm hurting Hermes, he's hurting everybody else. Like, he's taking the pain. So you're putting all the pain into one Archon, one god. But that god's pain resonates throughout his whole fellowship, his fellowship. So whoever he's working with, whoever's worshiping and praying to him. So if somebody's praying for, like, strength and, like, durability and that earth element. So maybe, like, that person I got an argument with, they're probably shaking, they're probably scared, they're like, oh no, like I can't keep up with this energy. So instead of putting it on that person, be like, no, it's kind of like when they battle, they like to throw people in front of them, so they use them as meat shields. When I play like Call of Duty or Black Ops, I like to run around and be the meat shield, and then my friends snipe everyone else out. So that's kind of like a strategy. But when they use it, they're just like, well, I don't really care about this person, so I'm just going to throw them in there, make your life worse, make it harder for you to concentrate on your magic, make it hard for you to do spiritual warfare on me, and your enemy will listen, because your enemy is like, well, I don't like that person either, so I'm just going to go with this. And they look good. They're actors. Actors look amazing. They have a great glamour spell that makes them look attractive, so they just throw those people out there. So yeah. I was like, all right, Hermes, I got you. So I was battling him pretty good, and then it started raining, and I took that as like a good sign that I'm doing the right thing and that I'm focused on the right energies and I'm getting things done the right way. Somebody was saying something about like, oh, when you have deja vu, that's a bad sign because it's letting you know that you're like stuck in an algorithm or a program. No. It's a good thing. It means that you're on the right path. It's God's way of saying like, hey, I gave you this dream. I told you this was going to happen. It took a long time for it to happen, but it finally happened. Look at all the details. I know you're remembering everything. Like, this is a good thing. It means you're healthy. It means you're on the right path. It means that you're making the right decisions in life, and like whatever you're going through, trust your intuition, trust what you're doing. Doesn't mean go crazy and like start freaking out, but it means like, hey, congratulations, like you made it to the next level, we're gonna keep going, like there's so many more levels, and you'll just keep getting deja vus, and you'll learn how to appreciate them instead of fearing them. You'll learn how to accept what it is that's happening instead of, fighting against it in a way. Like, I'm like, man, I remember this part of the dream. I'm like, I was with you, I remember what you guys were doing, I remember it all. And then it's just kind of like, all right, thank you, God, thank you for letting me know that I'm still part of your team. Because when you go against the Illuminati, they want you to forget everything. They want you to forget your power. They want to forget where you come from. They want you to forget what love is. They want you to forget how to dream. They want you to forget everything. And then they want to give you their own dream. They want to give you their own taste of the world. Like, they don't want you to be original. They want you to be a follower. They want you to be stuck to them. They want you to rely on them. And that's a drug right there. That's like an abusive relationship. Like, you need that substance, you need that cigarette, you need that drink, you need that man, you need that woman, you need that energy. You become addicted to it. It becomes part of your life, and that's not a good thing. So with spiritual warfare, you take those feelings. You're like, man, I really love this actor, that he's like really great, but you know what, if I defeat him, at least I'm fighting against somebody that I love. And that's Illuminati ritual right there. You're sacrificing what you love. So, but you got to remember, the thing with the Illuminati rituals and things like that, you don't fall for the trick. The trick is, oh, you're crazy, you go do bad things, you do something illegal, you get locked up, you do bad things. Like, don't do any of that. That's not going to help you. That's just going to set you back. That's going to take you to the go to jail. Like, you're playing Monopoly. All right, so you're playing Monopoly in this Illuminati board game. It's a real thing. You don't want to go to jail, so don't do anything illegal. It's what is it? Hostility, something like no hostility, no physical hostility. Everything has to be magical. Everything has to be spiritual, because they're doing the same thing. They're not coming up to you and saying like, I'm gonna ruin your life. No, they're doing it through the spiritual realm. So you have to fight through the spiritual realm. If you do it physically, it's never gonna work, because they got money, they have lawyers, they have police, they have everybody on their side. That stuff doesn't work. You have to do everything spiritual. It's spiritual warfare, and you can't get in trouble for that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's healthy, it's good for you. It teaches you how to expand your mind, how to live your life, and how to be brave, and you're not hurting nobody. Literally, you're not. They're gonna hurt themselves, so that's not your fault. Your job is to fight back spiritually. So let's just keep that real, okay? All right, so we're fighting against Artemis today, which is the moon. So it would be, I'm not making Artemis a boy. I'm not making Artemis a girl. I'm making Artemis a boy, okay? So you can take your archon and use that archon. So for me, I picked the Cancer that is in the world of politics. And when it comes to politics, it can be somebody that's a banker. It could be somebody that is a politician. It could be a monarch. It could be anything that has to do with like a lot of people. And they're not really using movies, and they're not really using music. They're using the people. So it's like a public speaker almost. And so I'm like, all right, I got my Cancer, my public speaker. He's my Artemis. What's up, Artemis? That's your code name. Like, I don't have to use your real name, because after a while, like, do you really want to use the person's real name? Like, that's not important. Like, what's more important is that you pick the right subjects for the right spells. And you want to pick people you love. Because, like I said, if you pick somebody you love, that intensifies the energy. So usually when the Illuminati, they sacrifice somebody they love. So they're like their closest relatives, their children, etc., their loved ones, their relationships. They'll sacrifice those people, friends, etc. Like, and they don't care. They just do it, and then they get a career boost. They get money. They get opportunities, jobs, movies, films, music, more fans, everything. No, like they said, bad publicity is better than no publicity. So they just rank up, and they're spiritually ranking up. If you ever see My Life as a Slime, he does a lot of that. So he's fighting all these people, he's naming his villagers, he's like ranking up in the spiritual realm, and he's just making it. And if somebody dies, he incorporates them into his life or his body or his energy, and he just gets stronger and stronger each time. And that's how the Illuminati game works. You can't do it any other way, because it's programmed to be an arena. So you got Saturn at the center, and Saturn is Mount Olympus. He's like time, he's everything, he encompasses everything. So Saturn is the earth, Saturn is us, Saturn is like this simple silhouette, all right? And usually you could see that as God and the devil, and you could see it together as one, like one piece of the puzzle. So you're like, all right, this is me, I'm in the middle, I'm Saturn. I have to look at my energies, and I have to look at the energies around me, and I have to interact with this rotation. So then you have Artemis walking in. You're ready to battle Artemis, and when you fight him today on a Thursday, you're going to be getting all this money. So there's the Ba and the Ka, let's not forget, okay? So the Ba is going to be what everyone sees. When you're battling that part of the spirit, you have two separate worldviews. The collective conscious, what everybody sees, like this, like when you close your eyes in your mind, you're like, what do people see? You can see it. And then you're like, what don't people see about me? Your secrets. That's your subconscious. And what I like to do is I go to the Ba, the one that everybody sees, the part of you that everyone can see, the part that you show the world. And it could be like your sun sign, and this could be like your moon sign. It could be like that, okay? So I go over here, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you fans. I'm going to give you music. I'm going to give you movies. I'm going to give you, I'm going to make people follow you. I'm going to make people worship you. I'm going to give you better clothes. I'm going to make your family happy. I'm going to do all these good things. So I just bless them upon blessing. I just give them everything that they want, they could desire, like a genie would. Like, here you go, like a leprechaun. Like, oh yeah, you are the winner. You deserve it all. Just say really, really good and nice things. And this will keep you in balance, because if you go too heavy with like anger, you're gonna kind of snap. If you go too heavy with goodness, you're gonna be too weak. So just give them all that good stuff. Don't hold back. Just give it all to them. Just like treat them like the kings they are. Make them gods. So that's why I'm like, all right, Artemis, I love you. You're the best. You're so amazing. Like, why would I ever hurt you? You're so fantabulous. And then you move over to the Ka, which is the shadow aspect of the spirit. And your body needs both of these. Your body needs the Ba and the Ka, or else it'll break. It'll be destroyed. It won't be able to move. It won't be able to live. When you see people go vegetative or psychosis, it's because they're missing a part of their soul. All right, so you go after their Ka. You go into that realm. That's like a shadow realm. That's the astral realm. This is still in the astral realm, but this is like a darker side of it. This is like the hell side of it. So you go in there, and you're like, all right, let's fight for real now. So this is when you could battle. This is when you could, like, you know, do some kung fu. This is when you could do some magic. You could be a knight. You could be an archer. Like, whatever your video game dreams are. Like, oh, I like to pick Chun-Li. You could be kicking people up in there. I like to be Blanca. So you're just like electrocuting people with your magic. I like to be Vega. You put a mask on. You got your claws, and you're like like whatever you want. Or like, you know, I got Pikachu. I got Charizard. Like, you could do anything your heart desires in that realm, and you can fight. And what's going to happen is your Ka and their Ka, they're going to be using up a lot of energy to do this. That's why some people get tired after astral projections and things like that. Or like, you could be dreaming and you'll wake up tired because you just didn't really get your rest. You got to learn how to rest and still battle. But the more, I would say, followers you have, the stronger that your Ka can be. So I like to pick out the ones that are the strongest, because those are the ones that have the most followers, they have the most energy, and the other celebrities need this one archon. So I look for the one that all of them are tied to. So basically, you know, when you go against the vampires, you want to go against the head vampire, because if you destroy the head vampire, you destroy the rest of the army. You're not going to cure them. You don't want to cure them. You want to destroy them. But with the Ba, yeah, oh yeah, you're going to be cured. You can cure them in that realm. Because you're like, I want good things for them, so I'm going to cure them, I'm going to bless them, I'm going to give them everything they want. Then you go into the Ka, and you're like, all right, let's go. You could even do this in like a team. Like, you could have a coven of witches, and one side will do that good energy because they're good at blessings, and then the other side will do the DPS damage, the damage per second, and you're just like boom, 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 heal, 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 and then maybe you'll have them healing you too. Because when you fight in the astral realm, your spirit, your body's gonna feel it. So if you ever meet somebody that has like a lot of deformities, it's probably because they're fighting really hard in this realm, and they're getting hurt, or they don't care that they get hurt. Maybe they're protecting somebody they love, etc. So you kind of have to be wise. So let's say you're fighting in the Ka with the Ka, and you're like a son, and you're protecting your family, and you jump in front of them a lot, and you take all the hits. So you're getting weaker, you're getting slower, your body, you're not as handsome, like you get cut up, you get damaged and bruised and wounded. But that could also be a bad thing. Like let's say you have a group of friends that you're protecting, and then your friends, they're still praying to that archon, and you're in there getting hurt by them. You can't have that, or you're protecting them for no reason. You're taking all these shots for them for what? So they can just keep on using you? Like, no. You got to be like very on top of your game. You can't be weak like that. That's why you have to have that balance where you're doing good and bad. So like in the reality, like this mortal realm that we live in, you have something you can stand on. You could be like, all right, I can take a punch, but I also can do good things, and I could be a good person. Because if you're a bad person, you go to jail. If you're a good person, then what can they do to you? They can only make your life worse. They can only make it harder, but it's only going to let you know who your real enemies are. Because it's better to know who your enemies are than your friends. Like, you're not going to really have friends in this journey. Like, yeah, they're going to be really good acquaintances, and you can consider them friends, but just remember that they're temporary. They're not going to be there forever. Like my mom would always say, like, family's there forever, but at the same time, in this spiritual warfare, you have to kind of put your family behind you. You got to be like, all right, they're safe, they're good, they got this. Some people have OCD where they're like, I have to touch the doorknob 10 times or something bad's gonna happen to my family. When you start thinking like that, you're losing the game. So you got to be like, all right, you got to test yourself. There'll be moments where I'll be like, I can feel the energies, like they're trying to like force you to not win, and you got to be like, no, I gotta win. Like, if I mess up, if I get tongue twisted, if I get jammed, if I bite my tongue, like if anything happens, like I'm gonna keep fighting. Because what you do, there's like this superstition that if somebody talks crap about you, your ear will ring. The right side is they're saying something good, and then the left side is they're saying something bad. And if they're saying something bad, you kind of bite your tongue a little, and then they'll bite their tongue because they're saying bad things about you. But like, let's say that happens to me. I'm like choking, coughing, like I'm getting hurt, and I'm like, oh dang, maybe I shouldn't talk crap. No, I'm gonna keep talking crap, and I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna win. Like, you're not gonna stop me. Like, sorry, your superstitions, even if they work, they're not gonna work on me. Like, I'm gonna keep going. Like, I'm not gonna throw no salt behind my back. I'm gonna go forward. So yeah, you gotta, and you'll be like, oh man, I need this, I need that, I need my sage, I need these crystals. No, like, you gotta learn how to just be like, all right, I got this, I can handle it, I can make it. And yeah, the sage will help you, the crystals will help you. You can't always use them though. Like, I live in a house where you can't use sage. I have barely any crystals because I don't have that much money. I have to be kind of wise and like decisive about what I have. So it's kind of like honestly, it's a battle, spiritual warfare. And then, so you have the Ka. All right, so with this is the subconscious, this is the shadow. This is the part of you that you hide. And when you battle this and you win, like, you use your body, you use your Ka to defeat their Ka, that's amazing, because it's showing that you have power in that realm and that you're doing the right thing, because they'll lose if they're wrong and you'll lose if you're wrong. But also, you can take a hit, you could take a punch in that realm, you can get hurt, you can be like, all right, I understand, like, I gotta keep getting better at this until I can defeat my enemies, because your enemies are gonna be there with that Ka. They want to weigh you down so your heart doesn't go up. They want to weigh you down so you can't make it to the next level. They want to weigh you down so you can't win. They want you to feel bad. They don't care. Like, the more you feel bad, the higher they go. The more you feel bad, the higher these celebrities are going to go. The more you suffer, the higher these celebrities are going to go. They're going to push everything you love down so they can climb up higher and higher and higher. And they'll take everyone down just so they could keep going up. They're going to keep going. People are going to worship them. But if you fight in that Ka, like, you will gain so much, You will learn so much from it. That's shadow work right there. But some of us have that warrior spirit, some of us don't, and that's okay. Some of us need to be saved, and some of us need to protect, and some of us are the villains. So I'm like, I don't care who gets in my way. I'm gonna blast you with my magic. I'm like, kaboom! Like I got my magic wand, I got my scepters, and they're not really there, but I can use magical ones, and they're more than efficient. And I don't even need those weapons in the spiritual realm. I could just use magic straight up from my hands. No, I don't know about you, but a lot of celebrities can't do that. They need all the tools, they need all the money, they need all this stuff just to keep them barely alive, because they're going against me. I'm super powerful. Like they're going up against me, I'm gonna beat them one way or another. So they do their best to make sure that they win, and they'll do everything to be like, I'm a good person, don't destroy me. Like I don't have nothing against you, but they're lying. They want you to suffer. They'll make sure everybody around you turns against you and use you. They'll make sure that you go poor and start living in a tent. They'll make sure you start using drugs. They'll make sure everybody around you is using drugs. Like you gotta be on top of your game. You gotta be spiritual warfare all the way, so that way they can't get on top of you. Because once they get on top of you, they're not gonna stop hitting. They're gonna keep going until you're done for, like KO. Like you can, or you become their slave. That's not right. I've seen abuse my whole life. Like I've seen how it works. Once you see all this stuff, you kind of get this like fighting spirit. You're like, no, I gotta do what's right, I gotta do what's best, and I gotta do what's gonna help me win. Yeah, so, and I love the Illuminati game. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. Nobody could ever beat me at that game. I'd be going up against the most powerful wizards and sorceresses and witches and everything you could imagine, and I always win. No paladin can beat me, no priest can beat me. I'm always going to be on top. So you got that call. Okay, what I like to do, I'm working on some spells. One is going to be called like Prometheus's chain. So I'll be like Prometheus, and it's going to be a chain that wraps around the claw of my opponent, and it's going to make them suffer. But their boss is not going to know. Their ball is going to be covered in a glamour and illusion, so that they think that nothing is happening here. And when they look at their shadow, they're going to be like, wow, I got a beautiful shadow. I'm a beautiful person. I'm doing great. And they're not going to think twice that they're suffering. So they're going to go way up here. We want them to go high. We want them to go all the way up to God, to the part where they're like, hey, God, look, I'm the best. I'm the greatest. Like, aren't I your favorite? That's what I want. Because then they're going to look me in the face and they're going to be like, oh, you're God. I'm going to be like, yep, I'm God. And then I'm going to be like, I'm going to send you to hell. Kaboom. But I want them to go really, really high. Maybe even higher than that. So they could be like, no, nothing can ever destroy me. Not even God. Not even this little bell over here. And I'm going to be like, okay. And then I'm going to pull a Jenga. And then they're going to come falling down. Kaboom. But, that's got to take time. So when you do magic, you got to trust the process. You got to take your time. You can't go too fast. You can't go too slow. You can take breaks. You can do it here. You can do it there. You can work on these energies. Do what your heart desires. Find things that you like and enjoy so they can nourish your energies. Test yourself. Push yourself out of the limits. Do things to make yourself brave. Empower your spirit. Empower your heart. Take your Ba and your Con, heal both of them. But when I put those Prometheus chains on my enemies, I'm gonna make sure that they think that their Ba is perfectly fine, and I'm gonna make their Ka shine. But I'm gonna have these guys in an eternal suffering, so that way when they lose their Ba, and it goes back to the Ka, and then they look at the Ka, they're gonna be stuck in this hell realm, and they're never gonna escape. They're gonna be stuck there, just like Prometheus, getting tortured day and night. That's how it's gotta be. So it's like a promise. It's almost like a seal, a mark. Like, you're my enemy, you gotta go. Sorry. So like I'm hitting Artemis. I'm like, sorry, Artemis, I got you in those Prometheus chain. Like, you might be smiling up on the front, but I know deep down inside your spirit is suffering. But I'm not gonna let you feel that. I'm gonna make you feel better than that. I'm gonna make you feel amazing, so you don't even think twice. So you don't try to stop me, so you don't try to protect yourself, so that you just do what you need to do, and you keep going happy, because I want you to go all the way to the top of the mountain, and right when you get to the top, either you slip, you fall, you shout, whatever, like, I'm gonna be right there, and I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna be somewhere else. Actually, I'm gonna be like living my life. I'm gonna be doing great. I'm gonna be doing fabulous, because you're gonna be doing so good that all that good energy is gonna come straight back up to me and make me do good too. Because if I just put all this bad on you, it's just gonna be bad for everybody. We're not gonna get nothing done. There's not gonna be no motivation. There's not gonna be no inspiration. Like, it's not gonna be worth it. Like, I want everything. I want my servants. I want my magic. I want my money. I want all of it. So like, if I'm not putting that energy out there, then we're not gonna get nowhere. So I'm basically making them go up on that thing, but I'm gonna be right there too on that, going all the way up there with them. Watch, that's just how it got to work that way. And like, honestly, when you hex somebody and do bad magic on them, and you do it to their ba as well, it's just like a waste of energy, because they're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm being damaged, I'm being cursed, I'm being hexed. So they try to fight back and they do a whole bunch of stuff that just gets in your way. But if you got them all wrapped up and they're just like, I'm doing amazing, I don't even gotta try anymore, then it's an illusion. And that's the perfect thing. You gotta keep them in that illusion, because if they come out of that illusion, it's just a taste of their own medicine, right? They had us in an illusion like, oh, everything's gonna be all right, you're gonna be great when you grow up. And then you grow up and you're like, wait a minute, where's all my opportunities? Where all my money? Where all my magic? Where everything I love? Oh, you have to pay for it. You have to do this for it. Like, wait a minute. No. I'm giving back my stuff. Like, this is what the Ars Goetia for, to get back what was stolen from you. And that's perfect for Cancer, because Cancer represents scissors. It's the moon. It's like, we're going to get you your stuff back. We're gonna open those doors. We're going to get that liberal sciences. We're going to figure out what's going on, and we're going to get you back your stuff, your spiritual inheritance, your spiritual wealth. We're going to get you back on top. We want to go up there. We don't want to go down. We want to go up. All right. You spend your whole life going down for other people. Now's the time to be like, all right, I can stand up on my own. I can protect myself. I can go higher. That's the point. All right. So I'm battling Artemis. I got him in this illusion. I already got his heart, his boss chained up in the Prometheus chains. I kind of want to do this like Hephaestus belt thingy, where it's like protecting me, so it keeps everything going smoothly. And then I want to do this Pandora's box thing, where I'm like sending out everything that they could imagine, like this cornucopia of energy, so they're getting all their dreams come true. Everything's happened magically for them. But I wanted to lead to like an ultimate destruction, like going out in a blaze of glory for them. So they're just like, hi God, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm right here at the top, and then just fall down like a shining bright star and just kaboom. Then they're done for, So that's just spiritual warfare. You gotta keep going, because you can keep it simple, you can do it small, that's fine. Do what you can do. Take your own time, take your own steps, do what's best for you. You'll get there. Me, I'm so good at spiritual warfare that I'm like, I'd be doing shows over there, I'd be doing backflips, I'd be doing twist turns, I'd be teleporting all over the place. I'd be like puppeteering them, moving their limbs for myself. Like, I'm just like do. I'd be getting whole armies of people and moving their limbs like that. Like, I'd be just going above and beyond like it was a video game. Like, it's so simple. Alright, so we got Artemis. We're defeating him on a Thursday, so we're getting all this money. You're clearing up the dream world, because now there's going to be better dreams for you, because the moon has a lot to do with dreams. And if you're destroying all these energies that have been holding you back, you're going to start dreaming good dreams. You're going to be able to overcome your nightmares. You're not going to be like stuck in PTSD mode. You're going to be able to elevate. When I look at the moon, I think of laws, because it's a law. Like, the moon's always going to be there, the sun's always going to be there. It's a law. It's written into the universe. So there's a law to this Illuminati game. It's a law. There's a system to it, and you got to learn how to manipulate that system. You got to learn how to use it to your own advantage, because they're doing it. Oh, trust me, they're doing it to you. And what are you going to do? Just let it happen? No, you got to fight back with spiritual warfare. You can't do it in a hostile physical way, because it's never ever gonna work. The laws say you can't do it, so you got to do everything spiritually. All right, so what's you have Thursday, Friday. So today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's gonna be my day, so I'm gonna have to go to the center. That's gonna be Duke energy. I'm gonna have these guys, but what I'm gonna have to do is, if you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi's like, I'm not going to attack Harpy Lady. If I attack Harpy Lady, I'm going to hit the mirror wall. My character's going to lose. My monster's going to get destroyed. I can't do that. That's part of the Illuminati game, is that if you attack, like, you're using up your energy, they're using their energy, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. You don't just get hurt. Your life points represent all the people in your life and the people that are in their lives, and it just goes out and out and out and out until it hits everybody, the collective conscious. So everybody's getting affected by these things. So if these two people are battling, you're all feeling it. If you're battling, all these people, they're all feeling it. Everybody's going to feel everything that's going on over there. So usually I put everything to sleep in the ball world, or the ka, and I shine on the ball. But I think what I have to do as well is there's got to be a part of the ka that I open up enough for everyone to see, like the writers. I want them to see it and be like, oh, that was a really good battle. I can take that love story and I can kind of twist it and make something cool out of it. And I just gotta, what I'm learning how to do right now is possession. So what you do is you send out that energy towards all your enemies, your victims, and you let them get manipulated by the spirits. Because usually they'll be like, oh, I got a cross on me, I got all this protection on me to protect me. So the thing with voodoo is, if you ever watch the Skeleton Key, it's like, oh, the more you believe in it, the more it affects you. And that's kind of true if you think about it. But even if you didn't believe it, I'd be doing spells on people all the time, and I'm like, I could do it. But in the Skeleton Key, they're like, all right, you're not going to get possessed unless you actually believe in it. So what I like to do is like open up that realm for them. So I'm like, all right, I want these people to start writing really cool stories. I want them to make really cool animations, really cool music videos. I want to incorporate it into their world. They got billboard signs now, graffiti, art, clothes, fashion, dolls, toys, everything you can think of, candy, food. You just gotta, that's the possession part. You just let the demons sink their energy into those items, into the world, and they'll influence it, because they can influence things like nobody else. The only thing that holds them back, I would think, is myself sometimes, because I'm like, don't do it. I don't want to see what you guys are going to do, because they be going crazy on humanity. But I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. Go for it. Go crazy. Go loose. Go apes. Do you. And I let them go. Do their thing. I trust them now. I'm like, all right, you know what? They took care of me. I can take care of them. We could work together. I ain't got to fight them. They ain't got to fight me. Kaboom. Just trust the magic. Yeah, so we got the spiritual warfare. I'm gonna be going up tomorrow, so they're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna fight Aphrodite because I love him. He's beautiful. He's the greatest. I'm not gonna hurt him. Like, if I hurt him, I'm hurting myself. That mirror wall is too powerful to get over, and he's a harpy lady. Like, he's too strong. He's just invincible. And I'm like, yup, what's up? And then, but they're like, wait, we don't gotta fight? Okay, we're not gonna fight. But then you bust out those alluring eyes. They ain't got a choice. They're like, they get possessed. They're like, I gotta fight. So all their hordes, all of them, they're all gonna fight. But in this reality, they're not gonna do nothing, because it's gonna be like, all right, I got them glamorized where they're happy, but I want their bas to fight. I want their energies to go berserk. Like, I want them to struggle. So their magic's gonna be like, I gotta attack, and boom, it's gonna bounce back and hurt them even more. It's gonna weaken them, make it easier for me to use my magic on them. So you kind of have to just be like experimenting with those magics, with those realms. You got to kind of see like, well, I can do this, I can do that. I'm gonna let you know right now though, there's a lot of people out there who are way better at that, because they think a little differently, where they're like, oh, I gotta do this and I'm gonna do it good because I'm a monster. But then me, I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I love magic, I'm really good at it, but the way some people do it, like the celebrities, they must be doing it really, really good, because they deal with all those fans. So they have to think in their head like, I gotta manipulate this person, I gotta use them, I gotta pretend I like them in the spirit realm. I don't gotta do it in the physical. In the spirit realm, I gotta do that. Like, I gotta give them everything they want. They crazy, or they fight you, or they be sending you nightmares, they be destroying you. But me, I'm like, I don't got no followers, I don't got none of that, I don't got nobody worshiping me. So I'm just like, I can't do all those evil manipulative tactics that they can do for them to succeed without even batting an eye. You wouldn't even know that they're doing all these rituals, but you can see it, you just don't know. So it's like they doing their work, they getting things done. They're like, this person likes me, this person likes me, I do this, I do that, or I love this person so much, I'll do this for them. And I'm just over here like, wow, you guys are crazy. Like, you guys really think that you can defeat me by doing all of that? Like, like, I'm gonna do it against you. I'm gonna use your own magic against you. I'm gonna show you how to really use the medicine. Like, a part of me doesn't like to do it, because it's like, you're putting yourself down. I gotta put myself down to be like you guys. Like, I'm used to just, doing the love, the light, the good things in the world, following my heart's desires and making my dreams come true. But I'm like, I can't even make my dreams come true because I gotta fight y'all. And I'm like, all right, Let's go. Like, I've been the villain when I was younger. I could do it again. When I was younger, I was an amazing villain. I was still an amazing hero. But now I'm like, you know what? Let me take the hero part out of here. Let me just do the villain. But let me show you how it's done. Because I want to make sure that when you guys go to hell, that you sink so low that I can't hear you, that I won't have to retrieve you. That I'll just be like, nope, that's where you belong. Just pat it dry. Like, there you go. You down in hell and you ain't coming back up. Nope. Yeah, so now we got an idea of spiritual warfare. We got an idea of like how it works. And tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get that love energy. I'm gonna go to the Getty Museum. I wanna like just check out the statues. I wanna see if there's any inspiration in there. For Halloween, I'm trying to make like this belt with leaves on it to make it look like a sash. But Aphrodite has this belt that makes people fall in love, and I'm like, all right, I want to make something like that, but with leaves, but use fabric, whatever, green fabric, make it look like leaves. So maybe it might have this Peter Pan effect, and it'll just look like leaves. And I think that'll be pretty cool. Give it a poison ivy, give it that green Venus energy, and I can use it for rituals, and it'll be perfect for Halloween because, I'm a druid and I have ancient Irish blood in me, royal Irish blood. So I'm a Maura O'Neill, so that means I'm up there. I'm the greatest of the great, always. In the Ashkenazi roots, I'm the greatest of the greats. And let's remember, in Ashkenazi-ism, like, when you're the best and the best, like, you gotta prove it. You gotta walk the walk, talk the talk. You gotta be the best, because all the other Ashkenazis, they're gonna try to take away your throne, and they're not even purebloods. They're not even royals like me. So why should I let them take my throne? I'm like, I gotta do all the work to get my throne back. All right, I'll do it. But when I get up there, I'm gonna make sure you guys are my building blocks for hell, because I want my own palace here on Earth. I'm gonna destroy the Earth and make it the way I want to make it. I'm gonna do that terraforming, but I'm gonna use you guys as the little building blocks. You guys are gonna be suffering in hell, and I'm gonna be living the life. It's already been said, it's already gonna be done. So mote it be. That's it. I don't need an applause. But yeah, alright, so tomorrow's Friday. Let's see, I'm gonna be working with the Duke. I don't really know what else there is. There would be Saturday, but we're not going to go that far. So tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, I like to do some dances sometimes when I'm like doing those blessing energies. So I'll do a dance. Sometimes I'll use it to attack. Sometimes I'll use it to like increase the beauty and the grace and the glamour of the world. So the glamour on the ba can work really good. Let's kind of recap real quick. The ba and the ka. This is what they see. This is what the subconscious is, the shadow for the ka. Ba for everyone, ka for, deep down inside, your secret. And then you have your mortal body, and then these two parts of your soul is like what you think and what you feel, and it's your consciousness. Like, should I do this? I want to, but I don't want to. It's that tug of war. And I want to take away that tug of war. I want to make it so you're like, oh man, I'm always getting things done. I'm always getting it right. I'm always going. I'm the best. And then, yeah, kaboom. Just overconfidence. But I gotta get you all the way to the edge of that cliff and just and I ain't gonna push you. You're gonna push yourself. So yeah, so that's a strategy. If you have any strategies, let me know what they are. Let me know how you handle spiritual warfare. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what spirits you're working with, what kind of magic you're doing, what inspires you. Maybe there's other people that you notice that are doing really good. You could give yourself a shout out. You could give them a shout out. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. I'm like open to suggestions and hearing what you guys have to say. I'm always open to critique as well, because I know what's right and what's wrong. Like, people, I'll be like, should I do this? Does this look good? And they'll be like, no, I like this or that. I'm like, nah, you're wrong. I like what I think is right. Because they're always going to pick the wrong thing. They always do. I think it's just like their ba is so set on like hiding their ka that they're just so afraid for me to win, because they just know they're going to go to hell. I love that. It's so easy to interpret and read people, like decipher. I think another word to remember is what the Christians do. Starts with a D. It's like decipher, but it's something else. Determine. I hate this. Sometimes I'm like, I know the word, I use it all the time, but then when I like want to put those energies on blast, like the Christians on blast, Can't remember. Or if you want to put somebody else on blast, they're like, nope, don't tell them what that word is, because if we hide that word, then they can't use it. So that's some kind of psychosis shit right there. When those things happen, you got to keep going. You can't let them stop you. You can't be like, you know what, they're beating me. Nope, you got to beat them. So decipher, discern. We got it. All right, so you just like you're like, why can't I remember that person's name? Because they trying to protect themselves from being put on blast. Sometimes you gotta put people on blast, but sometimes you put people on blast and they come after you, but you gotta just do it. All right, so discernment. We gotta work on that discernment, because that's a technique that they use to be like, what's right, what's wrong, and you have to use your own discernment. But try to use that in witchcraft. Try to use that in magic. Try to use that in spiritual warfare. Yeah, you can do some Christianity stuff in that spiritual warfare. You can give yourself a paladin armor. You can like summon a lion. You could be as strong as a lion. You could be as strong as a dragon. You could be anything, a Satanist, and use spiritual warfare. You could be voodoo, use spiritual warfare. You could be an Egyptologist, use spiritual warfare. You could be a Mormon and use spiritual warfare. You could be any race, any nationality, any religion, and you can use spiritual warfare. It's all going to be dependent on the fact, are you going to fight back or are you going to submit? And you want to fight back. To me, like, I'd rather have the humans submit to me. And then, everything will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But no, they will never submit. That's why I got 0 followers. And then all these archons, they got the whole world eating out of their hand. So I'm going to be like, all right, yeah. Collateral damage, kaboom, boom, 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 and just take out all of humanity one by one, but maybe more like all by all, But yeah. So those are some things I'm working on. Yeah. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what I could be working on. If there's anything weird going on in your life, your dreams, you could write or type them down. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else is cool. Like, subscribe. Share the video, talk about things, make your own video, a video reply of this. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're doing. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to push you away. Yeah, so let's see. I really want to make a video kind of explaining like what's up with these like celebrities and the energies that are going on. There's some things that I've been like noticing, like, you have actors, models, you have the bankers, politicians, and then you have the musicians, and the soldiers. Don't forget that, like whatever those planets are good with, that's the energy of all those people in there. You still got that zodiac ring. You got all these people floating towards these domains, Like a lot of people want to be goth mommies, and a lot of people want to be e-boys, and a lot of people want to be all these things, but they're just bouncing to these archons and they're wanting to be something. They want that skin. They're skinwalkers. They're mannequins. They want to be covered in those masks. They want to be covered in that music. They want to be hidden in those areas, because then you can't target them, because you can't be like, you're so unique, I can see you from a mile away. No, they want to blend in with everybody else, and then they want to be unique enough that they can move around in those circles and be able to manipulate each other, and they go after the ones that like want it the most. You could be ugly and be rotating in those maps. You could be really attractive and using it to your advantage, like whatever. Like, they're really good at what they do. Like, I'm just over here, I might be the best, but like I'm just like, dang, like I gotta use all my magic ingenuity just to keep winning, because if I stop, they're gonna like swarm. Like, I gotta be like boom, 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 magic, 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 magic. It's a lot of work. But yeah, let me know if you have any experience in anything like that. I would just say, like, don't think that you can tell me that I'm doing it wrong or that you know how to do it better, because I'm like, really? But then again, maybe you do. Alright, that's me, Gemini, going back and forth, running, just like, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that, boom, 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 boom. Alright, so thank you for watching. Have a good day, have a good night, whatever it is. Tell me where you're from. I'm from California, Los Angeles, Lancaster, California. I live near MacArthur Park. I'm 36 years old. I'm a Gemini. I was born in May. I'm a snake sign in the Chinese zodiac. Pisces moon. Let me remember that, because I don't really like to jump into that side of the astrology and use spiritual warfare. It's really good for it, but I was kind of like setting out the map first. I think I can use my Pisces moon, because like if we're working with the bond, I'm doing this Venus energy, and then I use my Pisces moon, which would probably be Pisces and Saturn, right? um and it's water. Oh my god, I can use this energy to like do some crazy stuff to the car with that energy. I'm gonna try to do some research and see what I can do, because usually with water elements you can use it for destruction because it's like the moon. But I'm gonna also look into Saturn. Well, obviously we know Saturn's really good for destruction, so maybe I can try to figure out something. Because like usually when I play Digimon, I'm Ranamon. Not I love Ranamon. I'm Ranamon too, but Ranamon is the other one. Lanamon is, it's like this water spirit that's a frog that is super cute. People call me Sappa because I'm like, oh, I'm a frog. All right, cool. But I love that Digimon so much. I'm like, go ahead, call me a frog. Like, I'm the cutest frog in the world. She sings, she dances. She's like, everybody loves her. She's just like, but she's also a little brat, and she'd be doing some crazy water magic, and she uses like cool hands that float around. And I'm like, that's me. Like, they made that for me. So yeah, I love to work with that spirit armor, because it's like I just get so into it. So I can like, maybe when I'm battling, I could, just tap into it and like kind of fill it out a little bit and see what results I get and like document it and see what happens from there. All right, catch you later. Bye.